Beyonce is being accused again of doing black magic. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Everybody ain't lying. I spent probably a week doing research on all the people that they were connected with, and all of them are connected to some sort of black magic, some sort of witch.
It seems like Beyoncé might be returning to her dark spiritual practices again, supposedly to help herself and Jay-Z escape the chaos linked to their rumored ties with Diddy. For years, people have accused Beyoncé of dabbling in witchcraft, even claiming she kept disturbing items for rituals. Now, her former nanny is allegedly stepping forward with shocking new evidence that could expose everything.
He put in the lawsuit, Jay-Z, that he was facing financial hardship, saying that he was not able to get business loans that he needed for his business and personal life because of these lawsuits. They've caused reputational harm. And banks denied him, even though he couldn't get loans before to save Roc Nation. And so he had to resort to a PPP to save Roc Nation. And how is it that a billionaire can't go into his own stash and allow his business to borrow money from him to save his business? Why does he have to run to the government to save him?
Rumors about Beyoncé's alleged involvement in witchcraft have been around since her early career, but they exploded after her former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, quit during the On the Run 2 tour. Kimberly claimed Beyoncé was performing dark spiritual rituals behind the scenes and using magic to control her life. The shocking accusations fueled massive speculation, leaving fans divided over whether there was any truth behind Kimberly's claims.
Guys, I cannot make this stuff up. Beyonce's ex-drummer of 7 years, she is seeking a restraining order against Beyoncé. She's accusing her of dark magic, witchcraft, tapping into her phone bill, and basically controlling her finances, She's saying the Beyoncé camp is put up a huge harassment campaign against her, and it's overall witchcraft. She sought a restraining order in the past. It got denied, and she has another one scheduled for October 11th, but the internet is just like, what? Excuse me? And, I was just at the Beyoncé concert last week in Houston. It was definitely a religious experience.
Wait, the girl Cats. A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep, snacking on his and people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too, which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music, handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band.
For years, Kimberly stayed quiet about her disturbing experiences, especially after being labeled as delusional and receiving hate mail at her home. But a few months ago, she finally broke her silence, and this time, she didn't hold back. Kimberly expressed deep regret for ever working with Beyoncé, claiming her career never recovered after she spoke out. She also accused Beyoncé's sister, Solange, of being involved in the same dark spiritual practices, suggesting that the family's connection to these rituals runs deep.
I definitely did that to definitely be so clear to cut the cord that I don't want to have anything to do with this person at all. I don't want to work with them. I'm even embarrassed that I have worked with them because it's literally shattered everything that I've tried to build after doing that work in my life. If I have always said when I was a kid, I never would want to regret anything, but this I regret. I regret that we ever worked together because it turned my life completely upside down. She's not been able to let me go. She's not been able to let me progress into a mature woman and work with other people, build other great entities and statues and trophies that develop in the arts world and music. She's just been a savage, stealing my intellectual property, stealing my ideas, just basically doing anything and everything to damage any type of happiness that I could have had up to current, that be in my own independent career, establishing my own company, my own music, relationships, whether it be business partnerships, personal relationships. So I've had to do a lot of work, a lot of practice of self-love. I know that You know, I was that kid that grew up and always did the right things and always studied really hard and always did a lot for whoever I was working for and the company. And, you know, that time has come and passed over and over again. And it's just been a nightmare to try to move on and do other things with other people without it getting totally destroyed. The other people I've worked with that have been on a plateau have been paid to fire me. I found this out, and then it just kept happening. So it was like, it was a pattern. You know, get really excited about something.
Many people began siding with Kimberly after she mentioned Solange's alleged involvement, mainly because rumors about Solange practicing witchcraft had already been making the rounds. Not long before, Nicki Minaj went online and began calling out Jay-Z and Beyoncé, accusing them of shady behavior in the industry. Right in the middle of Nicki's rant, Solange suddenly posted a series of cryptic images on Instagram that appeared to show demonic idols and spiritual symbols. Because of the timing, fans believed the post was a direct warning to Nicki, a message implying that if she didn't stop speaking on the family, Solange might use dark forces to silence her. Strangely enough, Nicki stopped talking shortly after that post, which made people even more suspicious. The rumors gained serious traction when popular gossip commentator Storm Monroe weighed in. He claimed that Beyoncé holds a high spiritual rank in Hollywood, calling her a high priestess connected to a powerful entity named Oshun, one of the most dominant deities in the alleged occult world. According to Storm, Beyoncé has taken over the spiritual throne once held by Madonna, which explains why the industry treats her with almost divine reverence.
Beyoncé is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch. Okay, how many people have come out and said, "Hey, shit, my cat starts dying. Beyonce did this to me. I saw Beyonce do that." Like this is nothing new. Okay, but you got to understand when it comes to Illuminati, to this industry, one person replaces the other. Madonna's old. Madonna is almost done, and Madonna is a very high-ranking witch. She is a high priestess. That's just pretty much what it is. Of course, the main thing Madonna practices is Kabbalah, but then there's different versions of Kabbalah, just like there's different versions of African spirituality. But then I also believe that in addition to African spirituality, I do believe that Beyonce is into dark magic and black magic as well, her and Jay-Z. And we're just gonna leave it at that.
After Storm Monroe made those bold claims, fans and online sleuths wasted no time digging for evidence to see if Beyoncé really had a history with dark spiritual practices, and shockingly, they found several old clues that seemed to support the theory. Many pointed out that Beyoncé herself may have unintentionally fueled these rumors years ago when she introduced her famous alter ego, Sasha Fierce. In multiple interviews, Beyoncé admitted that when she performs as Sasha Fierce, she feels like something else takes control of her body. She explained that she created the persona to help overcome her shyness and stage fright, saying that when it's time to perform, she completely lets go and allows Sasha to take over. However, one particular interview raised eyebrows when Beyoncé described a moment before performing at the BET Awards. She said she lifted her hands, felt another presence enter her body, and from that moment, she truly became Sasha Fierce. Things took a darker turn when one of Beyoncé's former dancers, Carter Sherry, came forward with shocking allegations. Carter claimed that Beyoncé allegedly hired people to kidnap and harm her child as revenge for quitting after discovering what she called witchcraft-related activity behind the scenes. Furious and heartbroken, Carter took to social media, calling Beyoncé an evil witch and vowing to expose the truth. She said she had stayed silent for years to protect her career, but refused to remain quiet once her goddaughter was allegedly targeted.
Because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which it fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
But here's where things get even crazier. Rumor has it that Jaguar writes explosive claims about Beyoncé and Jay-Z's alleged victims actually came from an insider who once worked directly for them. According to online gossip, that insider is believed to be Beyoncé's former nanny. Though her identity hasn't been confirmed, people claim she worked for the couple around the time the twins were born, but quit after witnessing things she described as deeply disturbing. Now, many are wondering if there's any truth to the rumors. Could Beyoncé really be involved in dark magic, possibly even using it to help Jay-Z with his rumored financial troubles? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts, and stay tuned for more on this wild story.